right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, we start in a weather alert. The Weather First team tracking rain moving up I-44 right now, but all eyes to our north and west, where a line of severe storms is moving our way. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. Those storms should arrive here by daybreak, but you need to be on alert overnight. Let's get straight over to Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell for the latest timing on these storms and, of course, the morning commute.
The morning commute could be impacted by this, but also winds tonight. We've seen pretty good winds across the area, 50 miles per hour plus in those strong gusts, and that doesn't have anything to do with thunderstorms across the area. Had these lighter showers drifting through St. Louis in the last hour or two. Now most of that has moved on to the north and east, as though they were moving through the back side of that in the northwest side. Looks like it might have interacted with a gravity wave, which then pulled some of those really strong winds that are about 4,000 or 5,000 feet off the ground down to the ground. And so we have reports of roof damage and power outages, even a silo blown over out around Hawk Point. So all of that in Lincoln County right now, but not associated with severe thunderstorms, but definitely severe winds. Here's what's going on back to the northwest. That line of storms approaching Kansas City, that's out ahead of the front. We will be dealing with that as we head towards daybreak. Anything that pops up between now and then, it really looks like it's going to be pretty benign. But as we head towards daybreak through tomorrow morning's rush hour, some of those storms could be a little intense, and definitely the winds are going to stick with us into tomorrow morning, for some of us into tomorrow afternoon. That wind advisory has now been extended into the St. Louis area for gusty winds around 50 miles per hour, not associated with any thunderstorms. So overnight, isolated showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Unlikely to see severe weather before 5 or 6 in the morning in any spot. Gusty winds, though, will be sticking with us till Wednesday. And then the scattered storms in that line early Wednesday morning, they'll push off to the south and east and out of our area by lunchtime. We'll track those out specifically through the day tomorrow and look ahead towards the weekend in just a few minutes, Ann.
Thank you, Scott. You can get the latest Weather First forecast anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. You can also share your storm damage photos by sending them to that same number. Tonight, one person is dead and 2 children are recovering after a crash in North St. Louis.
This happened as police were going after a suspect from a store robbery in North County. Our Brent Solomon is live at St. Louis Police Headquarters with what he's learning about this investigation. Brent.
Well, witnesses tell me they know the innocent man who lost his life. They tell me he frequented the Crown Mart, which is directly next to the stretch of road where he lost his life. And now, investigators here at City Police now working with County Police to get to the bottom of this. A mangled mess on Martin Luther King Drive and Cora Avenue Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, I knew somebody was dead when I was looking at that car. Somebody's dead.
Sadly, Henry Young is right.
It's pretty bad. It's gone.
He's referring to these 2 cars. A maroon Kia. Officers say a robbery suspect was driving when he took off from police. And this blue car. Witnesses say an innocent man was behind the wheel when the Kia crashed into it.
It's just a mess down here, and I don't think that is fair.
It all started here at the Dollar General on Halls Ferry Road in North County. Police say someone assaulted an employee and robbed the place, taking off with items from the store. County officers say they tried to stop the Kia multiple times, but the driver kept going, even after police deployed spike strips. Officers followed the driver into the city, and that's when the driver crashed, killing another driver.
I think at a certain time, they should take off the chase. When it's coming to a point to where you're going to run into hurting somebody, killing somebody, call it off.
Authorities shut down the roadway to investigate and to have a tow truck haul away the 2 cars.
I am stuck in traffic. It looks like an accident happened.
Drivers unaware of what was unfolding as they had to wait it out.
It could have been avoided, man. You know, whatever you did, you have to pay for it. Taking innocent people's lives for no reason. But the crime they doing.
Witnesses tell me that the 2 children who had to be rushed to the hospital, they say they were inside of the suspect's car. Right now, city police looking into that fatal crash as county police look into the robbery that started it all. We're live in St. Louis tonight. Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Tonight, 2 Illinois parents are charged with murder in the death of their 3-month-old son. Prosecutors have charged Logan Hutchings and Sophia Kelly of Pickneyville, each with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Investigators say the infant was admitted to a St. Louis hospital last June, suffering from a skull fracture and broken ribs. The baby died 2 days later. New tonight, a North St. Louis County woman charged in the fentanyl death of a 1-year-old is talking from jail.
It is the 4th reported incident of a child dying while in Mary Curtis's care. Our Robert Townsend is live outside the St. Louis County Jail with the interview you will only see on 5 on your side. Robert.
Mike, Mary Curtis faces several charges. She says she will fight to the end.
I will not hurt a baby.
From her cell at the St. Louis County Jail, suspect Mary Curtis claims she's baffled as to why she's now behind bars.
I'm like mind blown. I don't know how to react toward it.
On Thursday, prosecutors charged the 30-year-old Curtis with 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child. According to a probable cause statement, on March 20th, Curtis was responsible for watching a 17-month-old girl. Investigators say a second child witnessed the toddler fall asleep on a floor while in Curtis's care.
Immediately, I called her mom.
Curtis says she rushed the child to her mother's Janet Street home in Jennings, where her mom called 911. Paramedics took the unconscious child to a hospital where she died.
I don't know what this baby got her hands on. What I do know is I wasn't using fentanyl. Yeah, I had a history, but I wasn't using fentanyl.
Court documents reveal the child had fentanyl and a second drug in her system. Curtis was free on bond from St. Louis City for endangering the welfare of a child, resulting in death when the March 20th incident happened. Authorities also believe she may have been involved in child overdose cases of her own 3 children. In 2020, her twin daughters were born prematurely and died at Barnes Hospital. Curtis admits she was on fentanyl at the time, but she claims she didn't know she was pregnant.
They are really irrelevant to this because they died in the hospital.
In 2021, her 17-day-old baby boy died under suspicious circumstances.
Did you cause the deaths of all 4 of these children?
Absolutely not. I have no choice but to fight.
As Curtis fights to clear her name, her mom is sticking by her side.
Anybody, like I said, anybody that knows her knows that's not true.
Tonight, Curtis, again, is still sitting in jail. She heads back to court on April 25th. We'll stay on top of this. Live in Clayton, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Tonight, the results are coming in from the municipal elections on both sides of the river, and many Missouri voters weighed in on taxing marijuana.
The polls closed 3 hours ago. Our political editor Mark Maxwell and political analyst Anita Mannion are here following the big races.
Mike and Ann, the big changes are coming to the city of St. Louis. We're going to start there, Anita, by looking at some of these races. First of all, with a couple of incumbent members of the Board of Aldermen who lost their races tonight. Again, this is shrinking from 28 members of the board down to just 14. But there you see Joe Vaccaro, one of the longest serving members of the Board of Aldermen, comes up 10 points shy of Brett Narayan, another incumbent. But you see some change, some turnover there.
You do, and on the whole, I think this is a good night for the progressives. This is one example of that. They had a great ground game and focused on issues that apparently brought voters out.
Those results flashing on your screen now, where Michael Browning, an activist with some support from the younger Democratic activist in the city, knocks off incumbent Alderwoman Tina Peel by a wide margin. He had bested her both in the early votes and absentees and in just the number of doors they knocked. His campaign was boasting manpower and shoe leather, really getting out and meeting voters for quite a while. This was a closer race in the primary, but he really blew the doors off here. Michael Browning will be a new member at the Board of Aldermen there. But
I like Board of Alderwomen. That's okay.
It's becoming more so. But Mayor Jones, she got a lot of endorsement power in many of those races where it was effective. One giant she couldn't slay was in the northern part of the city. Sharon Tyus is a powerhouse there, and she'll stay in her seat. She bested Tashara Earl. I think we have those results for you. Mayor Jones had backed Tashara Earl, and didn't quite work out.
Right. This was probably their most disappointing race for Megan Green and Tashara Jones, but on the whole, they had a good night.
They did, especially not far away. There was, in the 14th ward, a bitter race there. House Democrat Rasheen Aldridge is giving up his seat in Jefferson City. He will assume a seat at the Board of Aldermen there, beating Ebony Washington. That was a really tough race, and two other incumbents, James Page and Brandon Bosley, lost in the primary there, so a lot of change happening.
Definitely, and that was a pretty contentious race. It got a little spicy.
Spicy is one way to put it, for sure. Also, we're going to go to the southern part of the city real quick to look at the new first ward. This was sort of a test about public safety and crime. That was one of the big agenda items. Ann Schweitzer, the incumbent there, with the sheriff's deputy, Tony Kirchner. Kirchner couldn't pull it off. Ann Schweitzer looks to keep her seat. We may have those results we can show you there, but a closer race in the new first ward. There's a number of other races across the city, a few first-timers also winning their races in Alicia Sanye and Daniela Velasquez, some progressives that also had the backing there.
Right.
But I think the budget wonks at City Hall and in the county, they're breathing a sigh of relief tonight. They're going to be able to collect a lot more marijuana money soon.
Well, that's their hope. We'll see if the county's able to collect as much as they want. But lots of municipalities as well as counties had this on the ballot today.
Voters approving that in large margins, kind of in time or in the same ratios as we saw voters approve marijuana legalization. About the same numbers approved taxing it as well to benefit the local governments there. You see the votes in the city of St. Louis, 63% in favor. In the county, 65% supporting it there.
Yeah, and then we also had Prop C in the city.
Prop C, that could be the biggest long-lasting change coming. This is the Charter Commission, which means soon public debate will get started around the city where you could see changes coming to the city's guiding document. The city charter could have new changes, and voters will get a chance to weigh in on those November 2024. So still a year and a half off, but big changes coming in St. Louis.
Mark and Anita, thank you.
All of tonight's results are running at the bottom of your screen. They're also available at KSTK.com. You can also text the word results to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you a link to your phone.
Right now, the USA is a mess.
Tonight, Donald Trump is responding after being booked and charged on 34 felonies. Plus, we verify the legality of so-called hush payments.
Quiet around St. Louis right now, but the weather alert continues. Gusty winds will stick with us overnight, even though the rain really holds off until around daybreak or a little before. We're tracking those storms out by Kansas City right now.
Tonight, former President Trump is back home at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida after a whirlwind of a day in his former home of New York City.
In a legal spectacle never before seen in America, a former president and current presidential candidate was fingerprinted and taken to a courtroom. Mr. Trump was charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. It's in connection to his alleged role in the hush money payments made to two women leading up to the 2016 election. He pleaded not guilty to all counts, and within the last couple of hours, Mr. Trump addressed his supporters in Florida, telling them he's ready to fight the charges and to continue his 2024 presidential campaign.
And I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about.
The White House is not commenting, saying it does not want to politically interfere.
Tonight, multiple viewers are asking if hush money payments are illegal. Our Verified team went searching for answers. Here's Ariane Till.
On April 4th, the district attorney in Manhattan charged former President Donald Trump with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records.
34 false statements made to cover up other crimes. These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are.
The charges are related in part to hush money payments made during the 2016 presidential campaign. Trump pleaded not guilty to all counts. Several Verified viewers have asked us if it's actually legal to make hush money payments. So let's verify. Our sources are Paul Schiff Berman, a law professor at the George Washington University, and court records in the criminal case against Michael Cohen, Trump's former personal attorney. This claim needs context. Let me explain. Hush money is exactly what it sounds like. Someone is paid money to keep a secret. That could be for things that are legal but embarrassing, like an affair. Hush money can also be included as part of a legal non-disclosure or confidentiality agreement, commonly known as an NDA. While there are no laws that explicitly prohibit paying somebody money to keep a secret, according to law professor Paul Schiff-Berman, there are some cases when hush money payments can be connected to illegal activity, like in the case of blackmail or extortion. Doctoring financial records or disguising hush money payments as something else could also be considered illegal. So, how does this apply to former President Trump's indictment? The former president isn't actually being charged for making a hush money payment. He's facing charges for allegedly attempting to cover it up. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
What can we verify for you? Send an email. The email address is verify@kstk.com. Tonight, the woman caught on doorbell video here harassing a Latino family in South St. Louis is out of jail. A judge released Judy Klein on bond this week. We're told she's now living in Cape Girardeau with family and is ordered to wear a GPS monitoring device. The St. Louis firefighter accused of stealing a crash victim's wallet and using his credit cards is now under an internal investigation. Chief Dennis Jankerson says he put the firefighter on administrative leave when allegations first surfaced. That firefighter returned to the job after police did not proceed with charges. Well, tonight, Chief Jankerson tells 5 on Your Side he has now learned the police investigation is ongoing.
Tonight, a Herman police officer seriously wounded in the line of duty is being treated at a hospital in Colorado. Hundreds of first responders and healthcare workers gathered inside and outside Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur for Officer Adam Sullentrump. A procession took him to the airport. Sullentrump is now being treated at Craig Hospital near Denver. Sullentrump and another officer were shot at a Casey's store last month. Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith was also shot and died from his injuries. Just 2 hours ago, a special homecoming celebration took place at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. 58 veterans from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam returned home from the 101st Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. During their whirlwind trip to Washington, D.C., they visited their respective war memorials and attended the changing of the guard ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. Welcome home. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the weather first forecast, and I guess the big concern is early tomorrow morning and the morning commute.
Yeah, it looks like that's when our chances for showers and thunderstorms will be more widespread across the area. Potentially, we could have some stronger thunderstorms. Certainly, if we get that, 70 tonight's a little damp. We had some rain. But you get that during the morning rush hour, it really slows things down. But we'll also be looking at the potential for some of those stronger winds as well. Now, we've had some showers go through St. Louis. There's just a few little spritzes left. Most of those showers have zipped up now and are out across eastern portions of Montgomery County and Illinois over towards Nokomis. As that batch of showers was coming through, we think a gravity wave on top of that helped to drag down some of the winds that are cruising up at about 5,000 to 7,000 feet and drag some of that air down. So we have reports from Winfield back to Troy, back to Hawk Point, kind of all along 47 here, of some roof damage, power outages, a silo blown over out in Hawk Point. Again, not from severe thunderstorms, but just the strong winds not associated with thunderstorms, and we're going to see that continuing through the overnight hours. Here's your line of potentially strong to severe thunderstorms stretching from east of Emporia up to the northwest of Kansas City and then going on up into portions of Iowa. That's what we'll be watching as we head through the overnight hours. That's actually where the cold front is. Now, we're also looking at this area down to the south of us, coming up from the Arklatex. These storms haven't really generated all that much this evening. That's a good thing. It's an indication to us that for most of the overnight hours, we're not going to have to worry about severe weather. Maybe an isolated rumble of thunder, but it'll be along this line early tomorrow morning when the potential for showers and thunderstorms increases. Now, we stay windy and warm overnight. Wind advisory is going to stay in effect. There'll be some wind gusts around 50 miles per hour. We're starting out in the lower 70s early tomorrow. About 4 o'clock, there's your line of showers and thunderstorms to the west. As that front gets closer, we start to see those showers and thunderstorms kind of pick up a bit of intensity around St. Louis, heading into the Metro East. This is happening during tomorrow morning's rush hour. Once the front slides through St. Louis around 9:30, 10 o'clock, we will push the chance of showers and thunderstorms off to the east and southeast of St. Louis and away from the metro area. Now, there is a risk tomorrow morning that some of those storms may have gusty winds, and a little farther east of St. Louis, maybe a tornado risk too. But we think it's mainly during the morning. Once we get past lunchtime, as soon as that front clears the area, your chance for severe weather is over. It'll be chilly come Thursday morning. We're in the upper 30s, lower 40s. Only getting to around 60 on Thursday afternoon, kind of with that variably cloudy sky across the area. But then as we head towards the end of the weekend into the weekend, it does look pretty good. Temperatures right now are still in the 70s, mid-70s around St. Louis. Winds stiff out of the south. We're going to stay close to 70 tonight. That should be about our high tomorrow, give or take a couple of degrees. Morning showers and thunderstorms, and then after that, our weather alert will wind down during the afternoon as the wind gusts subside. Passover begins at sundown. Thursday's chilly, 60, 65 on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Warmer temperatures on the way.
Are you going, phew, a little bit?
Yes.
All right, Scott, thank you. Frank's on deck.
And the starting pitching issues for the Cardinals continued. Jordan Kyrou continued to score, and the Battlehawks will continue to draw amazing numbers. Those stories next.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
The most memorable Cardinal press conference was 2011. They limped out of the gates, and Tony La Russa is yelling at the media, "It's the first week of the season. It's the first week of the season." And I think Tony proved to be right that year. Anyway, it's the first week of the season, and we probably should not get too worried about the starting pitching yet. Steven Matz on the mound. And tell me if this doesn't sound familiar. Austin Riley home run, 2-0 Braves in the first. Ronald Acuna Jr. also hit one last night, and he also hit one tonight. Just like that, the Braves are up 3-0 in the second. Matz 5 1/3, 10 hits and 4 runs. In the seventh, watch closely. Brendan Donovan will lash one to right. Tyler O'Neill is going to try to score. And apparently he wasn't running hard enough for the manager, Ali Marmol, who said the effort was unacceptable. Braves win 4-1. The Blues hosted the Flyers tonight, so Craig Berube wants more out of Jordan Kyrou. Defensively, they have been jawing at each other. Anyway, Berube puts Kyrou on the same line tonight with Braden Shen so Jordan can see how a complete player plays the game. Scoreless first, Kyrou does what he does best. Number 37 on the year, his third in 2 games. 2-0 in the second, and Justin Fall continues his brilliant season. This is just a good-looking shot for his 11th goal of the year. Jordan Binnington made 31 saves tonight, and the Blues win it 4-2. There is no better place to make the final push for the playoffs than at home. And the Battlehawks will close out the XFL season with their final 3 games at the Battle Dome. First up, the Vegas Vipers on Saturday at noon. And I'm hearing the tickets are selling faster than Lululemon gear. 35,000 or so should be on hand. They were in control down in Houston on Sunday, beating the Roughnecks 24-15. They face a Vipers team that they had no problems in beating in Vegas. The Vipers are just 2-5, but our coach seems more worried than me taking a spelling test.
This is a championship game for us. That's our mentality. We know that they can be problematic. Even when we played them, we feel like they're a team that causes problems. It's a high level of concern, the Vegas team is, because it's really the most important game on our schedule.
The Bidwells are in the news with some drama today. Former Cardinals executive Terry McDonough is accusing Arizona Cardinals owner Michael Bidwell of cheating, discrimination, and harassment. The Cardinals are calling the claims, quote, outlandish. It's been quite a year for Scotty Scheffler since winning the Masters a year ago. He'll now try to defend his title as the top player in the world rankings. Heady stuff like that has been known to change people. So what about the steady and some would say bland Scheffler?
I still have the same friends. I married the same girl I dated in high school. My family definitely doesn't treat me any different. It just so happens that we get to get to come to places like these on occasion and have fun. And life on the golf course has changed just with fans and more people just being around, which is a ton of fun. But as far as life at home, I hadn't changed a bit.
And that will do it in sports.
All right, Frank, thanks.
We're talking about those possible storms that could wake you up in the morning, be part of your morning commute. Scott will give us one more look when we come back.
We continue with our weather alert through at least the first part of tomorrow. That's the potential of gusty winds that we'll be dealing with, and overnight, maybe an isolated storm. More likely, we'll see those storms towards 5 or 6 o'clock tomorrow morning as that line that's out north and west of Kansas City works its way towards St. Louis. In the meantime, just some lighter showers here and there. Gusty winds all night long. Could see some wind gusts 45 to 50, 55 miles per hour, and that doesn't include any thunderstorms. It'll cool off tomorrow afternoon, and we'll dry out by Thursday.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. for the latest on the weather and the traffic, and have a great tomorrow.